So hi guys, good to have you. This is Essie and thanks for being here with me on my YouTube channel. Also, it's been a bit, but here is some good news for you. Your girl is on a study permit in Canada and I will be on study in the next couple of months. So I'm here studying in one of the colleges in Canada for I'm studying for a master's degree. Yes, in one of the colleges, like I already mentioned, international business management. So lo and behold, I would be here in Seneca College, precisely on Toronto in Ontario. So guys, I'm here talking about this video because it was a DIY, do it yourself process. So I think I really also have to let you all know how the process was and how I was able to achieve this in about 4 to 6 months. So ladies and gentlemen, I already you understand that there are a lot of informations everywhere. There are a lot of information on all social media, Google, social media, Twitter in particular, Instagram, Facebook. There are a lot of informations, and even the schools are reaching out to all countries of the world that they need people to come study in their country, in their school. And you would know that Canada at this time, they're really looking out for students, but not as much as they're looking out for the student. They also want people with high quality, with those people who you think. So the screening, as it were, is also not so simple. You have to go through the rudiment, step-by-step rudiment, to ensure you are able to achieve this do it yourself process. Anybody can achieve it. Once you have the luxury of time and you put in much effort, you would be able to achieve this. I did it, you too can do it. Okay, so it all started with thought of, okay, it's time to do this, and I started seeing a lot of information on social media, Twitter in particular, about some colleges in Canada. Would agree with me that if you're in Canada, there are some of these guys, you know, D1, Abraham, a lot of them. In fact, their names are just escaping me now. But then there was this particular guy at the time talking about colleges, Conestoga in particular. I would not even forget to mention his name. Don. He was always talking about that you can actually study in Canada if you have some amount of money. If you have a particular amount of money, you can study. He would talk about how to go about it, how to do it, how much you have, and how you may be able to achieve this if you just make some basic criteria. So that was how I took it from. I chatted him up that, okay, I'm really interested in this deal, so he get me more information about it. From there, I got into his Telegram group. I was about to apply to one of the schools. Conestoga College was what he was talking about. So for the course I applied for in Conestoga, I didn't get it. So in the process of being in that on that Telegram group, I got another school that was also giving a free waiver or a code for people to apply in that particular month. I applied for one of the courses. So one of the good things about them is you're able to apply for 3 courses, and out of the 3, if you do not meet the first, they may refer for the second or the third, because they are always very competitive. I got for the 3rd course in Conestoga, but I didn't want that, so I went to this school. So I didn't, in fact, I'm going to talk a video around this again, especially when you have a higher degree already and you're thinking of going for masters. I'm going to talk about that. I fall in that category because at the time I had some concerns about putting my additional degree that I already have before, but eventually I included it and I got the course I wanted. International business management is what I will be studying in the next few months in Ontario, and after which I would also have some time to work after them or stay back before I proceed to the next phase. However, right now as I talk to you, now I'm going to tell you about the process. Getting the admission. I know a lot of us will say, oh, getting the school, get your admission. Yes, you have to sit down, you have to dedicate some time, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours, whatever time, just dedicate some time to it. Look for the school you want, go to the school, go to their sites, your courses, the courses are available, information are everywhere. Whatever you want to get there, you will get the information. So all you need is you already have your document, maybe your degree in Nigeria or whatever. You have your degrees in Nigeria, whatever you have, put them together, apply, write your SOP to tune or fine tune to the admissions office that you really deserve, and also showcase what you have been doing with your time, either work, either business. The way you write them has a way of influencing the mind of the reader to see the genuinity in your write-up. That is the most important of all. Like what I say sometimes, yes, once you have the degree already, you have the experience, and also you are able to put it together. Some even write the list of the SOP, especially at the admission level, and they also get it. Put your things together, you will get it. It's not that hard anymore. It's as simple as what you can think of, and there are a lot of information also, like I already mentioned, on Google, Nairaland, where you can get a lot of information on how to progress with this. So now, be said, now you've gotten your admission, what will be the next phase? What do you need to do? Next is payment of your school fees. School fees differs for different people from different institutions. Some would say pay 50, some would say pay a certain amount of money, but before your resumption you would have paid up to 50. Some would say pay 100%. Whatever it is, ensure you already have the resources, or it will be made available when you need it, so that that is not the time you're running like a toothless dog or running around. So let me put it that way. Ensure that you at least you have the basic money you need to ensure that you get it. So once you have the money, what would you do now? Most of us in Nigeria, we have a process called a Form A, or some people have people in other countries that would help them to pay. What is important to the school is ensuring that they get the money at the time stated. But sometimes if they do not get the money and you're in the process, you could also write to them to let them know how far you have gone, the effort you have put in ensuring that the money is received at the time. But if they are unable to get it within the stipulated time, then you hope that in the shortest of time they will get it, because you are really processing it. In that case, you have communicated to them, and they may even give you an extension. In my case, I got an extension, but before the extension elapsed, I was debited. Then they already had received the payment. I also got my receipts after some days. Shaking is simple. When you have been debited, what next? Now it's time for you to apply for visa. There are some things you need to always keep ready for your visa processing. This is the place where you have most of this is where you really need a lot of work. The school would have accepted you, but the school, they're not the people influence. They do not have any influence over the visa. This is between the immigration of the school and those in charge of it to offer you study permits. So how do you go about that? So for Canada, which I'm talking about today, because this is what I know, this is what I've done. I use the new portal. People say, oh, there used to be an old portal. I don't know about that, because I did not use that. We had four major sublines in it, and which one of them is your letter of acceptance. That's what you have to, what you needed to upload is your letter of acceptance, your national identity, your passport, travel document, your funds, that's proof of funds, then your consent of information. This is for a particular set of officers. Then additional documents. So on them, for this letter of receipt, what I uploaded on mine was letter of acceptance from the school. That's the admission letter, my bachelor's degree transcript, my postgraduate degree. I already have a postgraduate in Nigeria. I included it, and the transcript, and those are what I had on there. Then national identity, I had my age, I had my birth certificate, I had my passport page, and I also had my passports, my pass, and my picture passport. That's 35 ml times 45 ml. On travel document, you have your international passport. So why do I have my, okay, no, on national identity, what I had there was my passport photograph, my national identity, my birth certificate, and my voter's card or my driver's license, anyone that has picture on it. On passport and travel document, I had my passport, my international passport on it. So for those who already have passport pages, like where you've travel history, you put them. You also scan and put them. Then the next would be funds. So under funds, you have tuition deposit slip. What I had in my own was my tuition deposit slip, my 5 months pay slip, probably my 6 months pay slip, my pension fund, my documents, my payment slip, my tax slip, my tuition deposits, the receipt. They're what I have in that segment. Then additional document, that's client information. That's where I had my SOP. I'm going to talk more about SOP. I had my CV, I had my professional certificate, my professional certificate, my NYSC, my medicals. Yes, I also talk about medicals. Then my pictures, my employment letter since NYSC. Uploaded all of them. I've had 4 yes NYSC, my first place of work, my second place of work, and also my promotion letter. I included all of them. My training, the trainings that I have done, I also included them. My reference letters from my school, I had them from my both schools, Ambrose Ali University for my postgraduate, for my undergraduate, and also OAU from my postgraduate. I had them. My staff identification card, I also had done trainings in first aid and all of that. I included all of that. I also had some pictures of me at work. I included all of that in this additional document. So in this place, I'm going to talk more about the SOP. SOP is very, very significant. I feel this is one of the places where you have to express yourself, especially if you've been in business, if you've been at work, or whatever you've been doing. It gives you an opportunity to talk about you. Like, you're given a platform to express yourself, like to say, who am I? What have I done? What have I been doing? Even if you have not done the best of things, I think this is a time for you to talk about what you have done, what you're doing, and what you plan to do. Your ingenuity should, or your genuinity should show in your SOP. If you're having problems on how to write it, because sometimes putting them together step by step or in paragraph by paragraph might not be so easy. There are a lot of guides I went to Google to write this. I went to Google. Luckily on Twitter, I've been downloading some SOP on Twitter. I even had one for one Mr. Francis Eboara. It's very detailed. He's very, very detailed. I also had about 4. Please try as much as possible not to replicate what they have written, to avoid plagiarism, but as much as possible, try to read about it and then think of what you should write. If you still cannot do it, you can engage the services of a professional with his guidance to write this. It gives you a lot of confidence when you're talking about it tomorrow. Get involved in the process. Just get involved in the process. Do it yourself. Do everything you can do so that you have a beautiful story to talk about it. Not when somebody's talking about it, you don't even know how they got there. You know how they got there. You know how you got your admission. You know who the process is. Then the next thing I'll be talking about is your medicals. Try as much as possible. Once you have been debited, try as much as possible to do your medical so that you will include your medical receipt there. It is not after you have been approved that you're running to the medicals. As far as you've paid your school fees and you've been debited, try as much as possible to get a date in one of the accredited health institutions in Nigeria and get your medicals done. You get a slips that you're going to add to your visa approval. For your study permit, you need to pay the visa fee. That's about $185, and also the biometrics is about, some total is less, about $235 as at the last time I checked. So I said I was going to talk some more about, okay, those are the 2 things I'm going to talk more. Then the next time I'm also going to talk about under funds is your proof of funds. Like I already mentioned, some schools want you to pay, depends on how much they want you to pay. The truth is, whatever is left that you have not paid, and the 10,000 according to living expense according to IRCC should be the minimum in your account, and also your miscellaneous. Some people say your miscellaneous can be as high as 5,000 Canadian dollars and above. Just try as much as possible that you have tangible sum of money at the time that you have built it over and over. Maybe from your salary, you've had some savings, you do other business. Try as much as possible. All of this should also go into your SOP so that it is dated, so that they know that yes, you can sustain yourself while you are in Canada, because the truth is they don't even want anybody to come and be a liability. So at the end of the day, you're going to submit your application when you're satisfied that you have done all you have to do. Like I already mentioned, try as much as possible to be in a group, and when you're in this group, just try and get information. Be active when you have to be active. Get information how other people are doing it. You will learn a lot. Submit with the hope that you will get the approval. I got my approval, and here is it. I got my Canadian approval, and this is it. So if I did, you could also get it. So people would say, now you've gotten your approval, what next? It is to travel to Canada. So like people would say, traveling, getting your study approval is not the end in itself. There is also, it's a process until you get there, and you also get your permits. Once you get there, they will also give you something like this on the day of your arrival. After the officers would have asked you some questions, they would give it to you, and this is what my admission letter looks like. Okay, this is my payment receipts. Some of the things they ask. This is my course enrollment, because in the process, if everything is done, you'll be getting information from the school on the process and every other thing you will do. And as long as you keep doing all of that, just so that everything will keep falling in place. So that was how the process go. I'm going to talk more about them in subsequent videos. Until then, I remain SA Media. I am in Canada. I got here on the 2nd of May 2023. So the process continues. It's a process. I will update you as time goes on. Please, if you've not liked my, kindly like, and if you have questions, kindly put them in the comments. Kindly put them in the comment section. I will avail myself and answer you as much as I can. Thank you so much for your time. I do have a very, very lovely evening from here. Bye.